Hi everyone, Coach Laura here. Today I just wanted to go over my story with you with Beachbody and how it has impacted my life. I've always been someone who has been careful about watching what I put into my mouth, what I eat every day. Since I was at a really young age, my mom was one of those moms that always kept up with the newest health crazes and everything. So it's always been something that's been a part of my life. And when I got older and graduated from high school, I started hanging out with my friends more, moved out of the house with some roommates, and got a boyfriend, that sort of thing. And I quickly realized that people don't eat the same way as I did. They weren't as, not to say that there's anything wrong with that, but it was just not what I was used to. And they wasn't necessarily enjoying that. So this went on for a few years, and I kind of started fluctuating in weight between either like gaining 5 pounds, losing 5 pounds, or my highest was I had gained 10 pounds. That was in my early 20s, and just kind of never really being able to get back at that set weight that I had enjoyed before. And so one day my sister was talking to me about P90X and how she had started it, and this was the first time I had ever heard about it. And she was so excited that I was like, okay, I gotta try this out. This seems like, I mean, if she's that excited, we're pretty similar on certain things, so it must be pretty good. So I started it. At the time was I was jogging about 4 or 5 days a week, 5 miles or so, and I knew I needed a little cross training. So I was happy to add that in to my day-to-day routine. So I just originally started with doing P90X for 2 or 3 days, and I loved it. It was just a huge game changer for me. Just first of all, I like Tony Horton and his personality. He was so funny, and then also it just totally helped me in my gains while jogging, that sort of thing. And so that just really sparked my interest. Problem was, at the time I was going to school, I was nannying for one of my friends who has 4 kids, and I was living away from home, so I had a lot on my plate, and needless to say, workouts started to get towards the end of the totem pole. And as bummed as I was, because I really wanted to keep that up, and I wasn't very good at prioritizing at the time and trying, planning out my schedule and that sort of thing. So I was going to school actually to become a personal trainer, and that was a quick little 6-month program. And after I had graduated, I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. I knew I didn't want to work in a gym. That's just always something that has never interested me. And I know it sounds silly becoming a personal trainer and I don't want to work in a gym, but it just was not what I'd wanted. So I never actually became certified. I did get my diploma. But so I just kind of ended up in a waitressing job. It started out part-time while I was still at school, and then after I graduated, I got more and more hours. And um, long story short there, I ended up becoming one of the assistant managers there, which I had had previous experience with that at my last job as a barista, so it wasn't too far-fetched for me. And even though it was a good position because you get more hours, more tips, that sort of thing, uh, it was just really not the place I wanted to be in. I was really tired of working for somebody else's dreams. This was kind of like my aha moment. Um, I our boss would always say, "Oh, look, you're making so much good money and this and that." And even though it was at the expense of myself and others. I I'm such a health nut that I don't, this could be a good thing or a bad thing. I didn't like, serving people 10,000 calorie meals, not 10,000, but it sure seemed like it to me. And, giving them that and then getting paid off of that, along with always having to set myself aside. When you work in the customer service industry, it's not always the easiest to put yourself first. It's always the customer first. And that gets tiring. It gets tiring when you're busy, when you're working 5 hours on your feet, and then you go home, you're tired at the end of the day, you don't want to work out, that sort of thing. And so finally I started looking on Craigslist in the ads for the fitness section and came across Christy's ad. I looked at it about for probably a good month, and finally one day just replied. I went for it. I was sick of where I was at, and just I needed a change. So went ahead and talked with Christy, and I signed up as a coach, and this has been just the biggest game changer in my life. Now I am just so much more positive, just in my day-to-day life. I used to get dragged down by the simplest things and take things really personally, and that was just kind of through bad experiences and not really knowing how to get out of that negative cycle that I'd been in for so long. And so Beachbody has really helped me with that through our personal development, that sort of thing. Along with, I am now able to work out every day. I get paid to work out every day and eat healthy. I eat clean 90% of the time, and that has been one of the biggest blessings because I've wanted that since I was 18. And it's just because that was so hard to get back to when you're busy or living out on your own and you don't have the money or the income to support that. And so that's been one of the biggest blessings for me, along with just walking into such a huge support group on our team page every single day. We always are posting about our fitness and what groups we're in, that sort of thing. And it always motivates you to want to work out that day, or at least it does for me, because then I'm thinking, okay, I was tired this morning when I woke up, and I've realized that yes, I'm not a morning workout person, so I do mine in the evenings. And just having that motivation throughout the day, seeing those posts and that support has been huge for me, knowing that there's other people out there doing the same thing that I'm doing every day and doing the right things to keep ourselves healthy. So that's been a lot of my progress here at Beachbody, along with my income. I was waitressing, as I said before, and I am now at home doing Beachbody full time. I am living with my parents, so that's kind of nice because they're helping me out. I don't have to pay for rent, but it is covering all of my business fees and that sort of thing, and and I can support myself and in this business, and I love it, and I can't wait to keep growing here and learning more. All right, thank you. You guys have a good day.